G'day, g'day. It's Keith here with Squiggle on the line. We're about to look at round 6 of the AFL, but round 5 was actually the first round where we were going to start with our betting. Initially, asked Fremantle about being in a grand final one year and coming last the following year. Things can happen over the break. So, feeding into all of our computer models from the unis and betting companies, it's perhaps best to have 2025 data for the modelling of 2025 games. So let's initially actually take a look at how we went in round 5. We got 6 out of 9. You get 6 out of 9, $5 bets in every game, you're going to make $12 profit. So we made $12 profit. There was $45 put out there. You got to think about it though, it's be incredibly difficult to lose all 45. You got 9 toss of a coin bets. If you were using no models at all and using a coin, you'd expect to get 4.5 of them right. You get 4.5 of them right, you'd lose $2. Hard to get half a bet right. But our idea being that Crunch, AFL, Lab, Live Ladders, using these computer models that have done well over the years, if we can nudge the probabilities to get 5 or 6 out of 9 week in, week out, pretty much, then we should make money over the season. We did go against, and I think I'm going to bring in a human psychological little rule here. If somebody's got like a 34-point start and you've predicted that they're only going to lose by 27 and not just no. Never bet on a team that's meant to lose by 34 because their heads will drop and they'll lose by 70. Should have made the same call with Richmond, who were meant to perhaps lose by 25 and they lost by 61. If I'd gone that way, that was one of the few losses there with Richmond. If I'd called Richmond the same way as West Coast for the same reasons, then we would have had 7 out of 9, which could have made, if you're a Star Trek fan, a nice thumbnail for the video. As it was, we got 1 out of 2 with these huge head starts, but I think I'm just going to leave them alone, not touch them with a barge pole for the rest of the season. You can go through, you can see that with the 6 out of 9, that's not too bad. So let's start taking a look at, a quick look at the graph. You can see we made the $12 there. Had we started that week, we'd be $12 in front of the at word go. But for what it's worth, even including the round 0 there and what's happened in the rounds, we've got 20 wins, 18 losses, 53%. So that's not too bad, even given using last year's data to predict those early games. But now we want to talk about round 6. And with round 6, we'll have a quick show of the leaderboard in Squiggle. And this is the leaderboard of the models. We're always going to have AFL Lab and Live Ladders as the ones that have historically done well, but I've changed from the Cruncher to DKD or Dropkick Data. So the crunch is still up and about, but that's the mean average error. It's explained more fully in last week's video. But we'll always include our 2 main and the current leader on mean average error, which is, the average amount that they're wrong by. And taking a look at each game with our 3 models and then comparing that to the bookies. So let's come back Brisbane Lions versus Collingwood. Well, our dropkick data and AFL Lab have got Brisbane by 15. Live ladders have only got Brisbane by 3. But we're going to go with 2 out of 3 ain't bad, because Brisbane need to win by 11 or more. We've got 2 of them on 15. We're going to go with that. So we've got 5 on Brisbane. North Melbourne and Carlton. We've got Carlton to win by 26, 30 and 19. Even the 19 is enough, because North Melbourne are being given an 18-point head start. So we've got all 3 in agreement, hence the green and not the blue. Not that that really matters, just a visual. But we've got Carlton for $5. West Coast, if the head start is more than 25, I'm just not going to touch it. And you'd have 2 out of 3 for West Coast to win with, we're going to lose by 24, we're not going to lose by 27, but their heads drop, they lose by more. If it's more than 25-point head start, 25 or more, we're not going to bet. Okay, now we've got Melbourne and Freo. A little bit of disagreement. We've even got AFL Lab tipping Melbourne to win. Live ladders have got Freo to win, but only by 6. And dropkick data have got Freo by 18. But if you look at on the balance of probabilities, winning by 18 is only half a point more than that head start. So dropkick data is not that confident that Melbourne can win by Melbourne to not lose by 18 or more, that is. And Melbourne to not lose by 18 or more is very much true with AFL Lab and live ladders. And to lose by 18 from dropkick data is only a half a point outside of where that line is. So we're definitely putting our $5 on Melbourne there. Adelaide and GWS. All the models are in the 5 to 9 range for an Adelaide win. The bookies want Adelaide to win by 3, so $5 on Adelaide. Richmond and Gold Coast, 45-point head start. Don't touch it with a barge pole. The human in me says that Gold Coast will probably win by 60 to 90, but I think the mathematical models can fall over a bit when psychology comes in. The more professional the league, the more likely, if a team's meant to lose by 38, that they will lose by 38 and not drop their bundle and lose by 98. But for now, these 2 all the way across red ones, not touching them, so we're only going to have 7 bets this weekend over Easter. Okay, Sydney and Port. We've got Sydney to win by 4, Sydney to win by 6, and Port Adelaide to win by half a point. Now, what do the bookies want? The bookies want Sydney to win by 15 or more. Nobody says that Sydney's going to win by 15 or more, so we have $5 on Port Adelaide. Western Bulldogs and St Kilda. The models have got the Bulldogs by 4, 6 and 14. They have to win by 11. 2 of the models say that they won't, and the other one's not that far from it. So we go with the 2 out of 3 here and have $5 on St Kilda. Geelong and Hawthorn. We've got Geelong winning by 5, 13 and 1. They've got to win by at least 2. So that's pretty close to, it's 2 out of 3 and the other one's not in big disagreement. So we have $5 on Geelong. That's how we're looking into round 6. And we'll see, we're hoping for 6 out of 9 again. Oh, hang on, we're playing out of 7 here. I'd imagine 3 out of 7 would be a small loss, and 4 or more will be in business. Just a quick look at basically making $4.50. Let's say we did get 4 out of 7, just for those who are interested. You'd have 4 times 4.5, and then you'd be losing 3 lots of $5 or losing 15. It'd be a $3 win should we get 4 out of 7. And of course 5, 6 and 7 out of 7, you're starting to make the bigger money. Oh, this has been the Squiggle and the Line with Math by Keith, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye for now.